Good morning, and how is everyone? Watch this video upset a few people. So we're now seeing videos emerge of the Tinder date. God. I just found it completely unremarkable. There was some important messages in there. And look, I'm definitely not going to go down the route of what a lot of people seem to be doing and attacking this female based on her looks, etc. Look, it's just, oh my God, that's just part and parcel, sadly, of coming online. You know, if you're online, if you put yourself out there on videos, you're going to get attacked. Even if you're as beautiful as me, people are going to attack you. And, you know, some of it's jealousy, some of it's because people have not got the best sight. But look, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. So this girl goes on a Tinder date years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And the important message, which we'll get out of the way first, is look, she very rightly said that a lot of the time people go on these dates and they do not take precautions. They're literally looking at pictures of someone, they're swiping left, swiping right, and before they know it, they're meeting up with these people, and then they find themselves in a room alone with them. And far too often we hear of these stories. There was one not so long ago that I briefly mentioned where a girl goes on a date, she goes to leave because the guy tries to make advances on her, and before you know it, he's basically locked her in the room and kept her, and it's now going through due process. He's being arraigned for kidnap and, holding her hostage. And these things are very, very real, and it's not just females who are at risk either. It's males can be equally at risk. There has been cases in the UK, even with gamers, where young lads have been playing online games and they've felt that they've met a friend through that system, and they've subsequently gone to meet them and subsequently lost their life because of it. So it is very, very serious to take some of what she says extremely serious. Because 9 times out of 10, you do not know these people. You do not know what they're capable of. You don't know what is going on in their life. You don't know their current mindset. And you must take precautions. You must make sure that you are safe. So in the event that you are going on a date, have someone know that you are going on a date. Have someone who knows who you're going with, a picture of that person, whatever you need to do to make sure someone is fully aware, and have some arrangement, whether it be that you're going to make a call to them at a certain time just to check in and make sure that you're all right and that you have something set up. And I know this seems over the top perhaps, but it isn't. In the day and age that we are in, it's not. You have to make sure that you're safe. So that's got that out of the way. But what else do I see in this? And I do say, this is a bit that people are going to be pissed off about. Look, I do see someone who's kind of milking the situation a bit. She's gone on. She could have just ignored it. She could have just simply ignored it. On one hand, she's saying that she's, being doxxed online, this, that, and the other. But then she does countless videos to talk about a situation that is simply unremarkable. She actually goes on later to say that out of all the dates she went in, Bryan wouldn't have been her first choice of the person who would likely turn into a serial killer or a mass murderer. Can't remember what film she watched, and to be fair, I couldn't perhaps remember a film that I went to watch on a date that amount of time ago. But again, it just adds to the unremarkable nature of it. So I kind of don't really see the point. The information she gave about keeping yourself safe and the fact that she took risks, fantastic, and kudos to her for bringing that out. Whether people will take notice of it, I don't think they will. There'll still be people using Tinder as we speak now, and they're swiping and swiping and swiping, and they'll go on dates, and the rest is history. And someone will come unstuck. Someone will get bitten by that. But, you know, what I'm seeing I saw on a video, and I'm not going to mention the channel, you know, it's a really popular channel. I like some of the stuff they do. I don't like some of the other stuff they do. But I just saw that as they were playing the information regarding this, it kept cutting and making little snidey comments about Bryan, you know, during this date about, you know, that he would tickle the girl and stuff like this. He would follow her to the bathroom. And it's things like that, when you're constantly making snipes and snidey comments, that exacerbate the negative feeling towards that person. But let's not forget that as many people who have come forward about Bryan Kohberger and said that he was weird, he was strange, he was this, that, and the other, there are people who come out and paint him in a different picture about his intelligence, about the fact that he was chatty, he was willing to, you know, go out of his way to try and make friends, but it is something that he struggled with. He came across as over chatty in situations, and for that reason, some people would kind of avoid him because they didn't want to go through that kind of that chattiness, that wanting to talk, and that I suppose like a bit of a, you know, I've got people in my life who you kind of think, oh God, I don't really want to engage in a conversation with them because I'll get stuck with them for an hour. You know, we've all got those people that, you know, you can't seem to escape from. So if you have got to go and see these people, you've got to kind of make sure you've got no other appointments available or any other commitments coming up, because you're likely going to miss them. But I've heard and seen nothing remarkable that sticks out about Bryan. We've obviously heard the information through the affidavit, and, you know, and the fact that he visited this area 12 times, and, you know, we have got the people coming out who said that he's a strange guy and things like that, but nobody, bearing in mind that he's nearly 30 years old, what is he, 28 years old? Nobody has really come forward and gave a definitive sort of story about him that makes you think, sheesh, this is the guy. And again, this isn't the free Bryan Kohberger channel. This isn't the support a murderer channel. This is just being honest and open and having a conversation. And look, the guy is innocent until proven guilty. Is he going to get proven guilty? Who knows? Who knows? There's so many elements of this case that isn't straightforward. It isn't clear cut. You know, yes, we've got this leather sheath. It's got DNA on it. They found the DNA. They've matched it up with a DNA sample from his father. That means that it's more than likely, in a 99.9995% case, it's going to be Bryan Kohberger or his sister. And, you know, but even things like that can be argued. You know, touch DNA, believe it or not, can stay active and virulent on an item for 12 months. So, yes, it does say that at some point it's likely that Bryan Kohberger touched that knife sheath. But does it place him at that place, at that time, beyond reasonable doubt? That's what we've got to wait and find out. But yeah, the Tinder date. Let me know what you think. No hate for her. Do you know what I mean? There's absolutely no hate for her. The only issue that I have is I feel it's just being milked a little bit. You know, for someone who is afraid of being doxxed online and getting attacked, she's holding her own. She's holding her own, and I'm sure she'll get a lot of support. She'll get a lot of followers. She was going to get, you know, it will ultimately be a positive outcome, I'm sure, and probably raise some awareness also for some of the other issues that she has suffered over the years. You know, she mentioned polycystic ovaries syndrome, which, you know, I know people who have gone through this, and that is horrendous. It's horrific. And I don't think there is as much awareness out there as there should be, and how that can affect females. So, you know, hopefully she'll spin this and do some real good. It does seem like she could. But in terms of talking about Bryan and, you know, this interaction, I simply found it pointless. I found that section of it pointless. Yeah, she raised it because someone had asked a question about it, or they've thrown up her Tinder dates and brought her into but she could have just come out and said, yeah, I went on a date. You can't remember anything about it. It was unremarkable. And the rest is history. I've got nothing more to say. That's as simple as that. But let me know what you got from it, what takeaway. But again, I will say before we go, remember, stay safe. Seriously, stay safe. Because you never know who you're meeting up with. And that is both male and female, young and old. If you are a parent of a child and your child is on social media, if they are on gaming platforms such as Fortnite, things like this that provide a game and a headset and you are talking to people, make sure that you know who are in their friend list. You know, our children here, they have it. We go through their friends list. We make sure that every single person who is in their friend list, that they know them face to face, that they've met them and we are also familiar with them. And if we are not, and we can't say, right, who's Dave? And they turn around and say, right, Dave is such and such, and we know who that person is. They are gone, they are blocked, and that is it. And you need to be doing that. But for now, I'm out. Another video coming up later on today, reference the Idaho 4 situation, and looking at specifically how did Bryan, if indeed he is the person who is going to get pinned for this, how did he pick these victims? Because it is coming out now that apparently the parents, I believe it's Kaylee's father, who has said that they knew nothing about Bryan. He was absolutely unknown to them whatsoever. Interesting. Catch you all later today.